Thomas Jefferson was an American founding father who served as the third president of the United States from 1801 to 1809. This is the beginning of the 19th century. He was the primary author of the Declaration of Independence following the American Revolutionary War. And before becoming president in 1801, Jefferson was the nation's first U.S. Secretary of State under George Washington, and then the nation's second vice president under John Adams. Jefferson was a leading proponent of democracy, republicanism, and natural rights, and he produced formative documents and decisions at the state, national, and international levels. So he produced formative documents. What do they mean by formative? Serving to form something, especially having a profound and lasting influence on a person's development. So, school is not only significant, schooling is not the only significant element in the child's formative years. Okay. So produced formative documents. These are just profound and important. Dare I say important? Here's a picture of the man, by the way. Before we get into this, this is the official presidential portrait of Thomas Jefferson. Look at this dude. Okay. All right. Also some quick facts about him. So he was born in, actually it doesn't say, it does say. He was born in 1743 on a plantation, and he died in 1826. Okay, so let's continue reading the intro. Jefferson was born into the colony of Virginia's planters class. Into the colony of Virginia's, that's a thing. He was born into the colony of Virginia. Planter class. Interesting. The planter aristocracy. Interesting. It's its own Wikipedia. Dependent on slave labor. So this guy was from kind of different origins. I'm assuming from John Adams, although we didn't really read about John Adams's origin when I did that episode. But I do remember it saying that he never owned slaves. Maybe this president has a bit of a different flavor. During the American Revolution, Jefferson represented Virginia at the Second Continental Congress. This is coming up quite a few times. He served as the second governor of Revolutionary Virginia from 1779 to 1781. In 1785, Congress appointed Jefferson U.S. Minister to France, where he served from 1785 to 1789. President Washington then appointed Jefferson the nation's first Secretary of State, where he served from 1790 to 1793. During this time in the early 1790s, Jefferson and political ally James Madison formed the Democratic Republican Party. Okay, so it's like the name has both of the modern parties' names, which is interesting. Maybe also a statement on how similar they should be. Okay. Let me add this to the reading list, sorry. All right, so Jameson organized the Democratic Republican Party to oppose the Federalist Party. Okay, this is like a short-lived party that only had one president. During the formation of the nation's first party system, Jefferson and Federalist John Adams became both personal friends and political rivals, which is a cool mix to have a personal friend and a rival which is like friendly competition essentially, which is a great thing. In the 1796 U.S. presidential election between the two men, Jefferson came in second, which made Adams vice president under the electoral laws of the time. 4 years later, in the 1800 presidential election, Jefferson again challenged Adams and won the presidency. In 1804, Jefferson was re-elected overwhelmingly to a second term. I'm a bit confused, sorry, I don't understand. In 1796, Jefferson came in second, which made Adams the vice president, even though Jefferson came in second. And then in the 1800 one, Jefferson won, and then won the presidency. Okay, something feels weird. But let's continue. In 1804, Jefferson was re-elected overwhelmingly to a second term. As president, Jefferson assertively defended the nation's shipping and trade interest against the Barbary pirates and aggressive British trade policies, promoted a Western expansionist policy with the Louisiana Purchase. Which doubled the nation's geographic size and was able to reduce military forces and expenditures following successful negotiations with France. In his second presidential term, Jefferson was beset by difficulties at home, including the trial of his former vice president, Aaron Burr. In 1807, Jefferson implemented the Embargo Act to defend the nation's industries from British threats to U.S. shipping, limiting foreign trade and stimulating the birth of the American manufacturing industry. By the way, pirates, not any pirates, but Barbary pirates, or naval mujahideen. Okay, I don't know anything about this. Add to reading list. So he defended the nation's trade interests against pirates. So back in those days, we don't have aerial, like we don't have planes. So everything is shipped by sea or overland, and there's pirates, and that's insane. Okay. Jefferson is ranked by both scholars and in public opinion among the upper tier of U.S. presidents. By the way, this is like a recurring thing. They're almost saying this on every single, president. So they've said it on Washington and said it about Adams as well. So he also, I guess, is ranked high. Presidential scholars and historians praise Jefferson. Okay, let's just keep reading it, even though it's a lot of superlatives, and I don't like superlatives. But presidential scholars and historians praise Jefferson's public achievements, including his advocacy of religious freedom and tolerance. Very cool. His peaceful acquisition of the Louisiana Territory from France, and his leadership in supporting the Lewis and Clark expedition. They acknowledge the fact of his lifelong ownership of large numbers of slaves, and gave differing interpretations on the views on and the relationship with slavery. Let's see some pictures. This is the Wren building at the College of William and Mary. Where Jefferson studied. House of Burgesses. His home. Wow. Looks like classic Roman, classic Greek kind of architecture with the stoa in the front and the columns and the nondescript capitals. The dome. This is the Declaration of Independence, Governor's Palace, Assembly Room, Champs-Élysées, I think that's what it's called, because he was an ambassador to France. This is a portrait, another portrait, the Barbary Coast. Black Hoof. Okay. A lot to unpack here. This is a very long entry. It's a semi-protected due to vandalism, which is cool. I didn't know that Wikipedia can semi-protect articles, but it is. And I can listen to this article. Anyways, I don't want to get into that right now. But yeah, that's it for this one. See you guys on the next one.